Welcome to Innovators Journey. My name is Jon Stojan. Today we have Father Stephen Brandow. I'm excited to have you as a part of the program. You've been a Catholic priest since 1996 and have served as a clinical chaplain at the Alexandria VA healthcare system. What led you to combine ministry with healthcare chaplaincy?
Well, believe it or not, it was a single phone call from the bishop who asked me would I be willing to go over and assume a contract that the diocese had with the VA and also with the state of Louisiana. I also worked as a chaplain in residence at our Central Louisiana State Hospital, which is a mental facility. We have two mental health facilities where people are confined because of the severity of their mental illnesses, and one of them is Central. And that's what ended up having me do that. I'd worked at the VA 5 years before going to seminary and came back to the VA again after seminary at the request of the bishop. Then the head of the pastoral care department asked me would I consider coming on full time, and I told him if he would contact the bishop and make that request, it would probably go better. And that's what happened.
All right. And as someone who worked with veterans, what unique spiritual or emotional challenges do veterans face, and how do you support them with your role as a chaplain?
Well, not only veterans, but you'll find first responders in the local communities are experiencing a lot of post-traumatic injury, a lot of moral injury where you're asked to do something that's necessary to accomplish a mission that might violate by personally held standards. Those are two of the big areas. I do a lot of work in moral injury and moral repair. In fact, as we were getting ready to do this interview, I was working on a group for tomorrow's about post-trauma moral growth.
Okay. And you mentioned already, you served on the board of the Louisiana Chaplain Association. How has the chaplaincy evolved in the recent years, particularly within the healthcare setting?
Chaplains are getting involved in a variety of opportunities to assist and support other clinical staff. Chaplains are now getting clinical trainings. It's not like the old days where you just called your local pastor and asked him to come into the hospital and do some work. Now, typically, hospital trained chaplains have 1,000 or 2,000 hours of training beyond their graduate training in the particular denominational practice that they might have to get it. Then you have to do a certification interview or exam, depending on which group you certify with. It's interesting.
Okay. So it sounds like it's gotten a lot more robust than, like you said, it has been in the past.
It has. It's gotten to be very interesting. I just returned from a meeting of the Association for Professional Chaplains, where they continue to discuss ways to improve the certification process.
Okay. And given your long tenure with both parish ministry and healthcare chaplaincy, what advice would you offer to those considering a similar path in spiritual and healthcare services?
To be patient, to know that it's not going to happen because of the force of one's personality. You have to work to put yourself in the right positions to influence people to use the skills you might have. You might have a lot of training, and it takes building of relationships to make it work best.
Fantastic. Well, Father Stephen Brandow, it's been fantastic having you on Innovators Journey and hearing how you've combined healthcare chaplaincy with the ministry and the impact that that's had for some really important communities and veterans and beyond. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you.